Hare Krishna. So today we are going to learn how to make ladi pav without using yeast. So we have a lockdown period and some ingredients are not available, and yeast is such an ingredient that you may not have in your kitchens. So let's try today ladi pav without yeast. Okay, let's look at the ingredients. So we have around 2 cups, that is around 250 grams of maida, half cup of dahi, yogurt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of ENO. This is our regular ENO which we are using, and half teaspoon of baking powder. And the last ingredient is around 2 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Now let's see the recipe. We'll take maida and sieve it. Sieving ensures that you have lot of air in the pav. Break all the lumps. Great. Now we'll start with adding curd, yogurt, I am adding the raw sugar, raw brown sugar, salt and baking powder. These ingredients will go in first, and now we will be making a dough out of it. You may not need water. In case you need water, I suggest you take some lukewarm water. So this is normal kneading, the way you knead your roti atta or paratha atta, and we just need to put this together. Okay, so now this has come together. Dahi is mixed well with the atta, and now the last ingredient now which I will add is ENO. And now slowly we also start adding some lukewarm water. Now as we start adding water, you may notice some bubbles may come and some mash type of structure you will see. This is because the yogurt and the ENO are reacting. So this is now soft consistency and it's very sticky. You see, it's sticking. So now you have to slowly add in dry flour and keep on binding. Now this process you have to do for minimum 7 to 8 minutes. Kneading is a very important process of bread making, and slowly you will see that how the entire flour will come back to a dough shape. Keep on kneading. So if you are not comfortable using the parat, this thing, you can just use your countertop. So before putting it on the countertop, make sure that your countertop is clean thoroughly. Here I have some restrictions with the space, so I am not using my countertop. Okay, now use this part for kneading. Now this is the best part of kneading. Okay, you see slowly the dough is also coming together. It is still very soft. It will come slowly together. We want the ENO and the yogurt to react nicely. They will form a mesh. The gluten will form the mesh, and ENO will release the carbon dioxide, and the mesh will capture this carbon dioxide. This makes our bread soft. Of course, it will not be as soft as the one which you make with yeast, but this is also a nice way of making it. So now you see I have been kneading this for around 7 minutes, and this has come nicely together. It is still sticky, but it is perfect the way we want. Now is the time that we add our oil. We are incorporating the oil in this dough. So we just take half of the oil for now. Okay. This is normal vegetable oil which I have been using. Now you have to knead it for 3 minutes. So kneading is a very important process, as I explained before. Do not lessen your kneading time. That affects your bread quality a lot. So make sure that you are kneading and kneading. Okay, so I have been kneading this for good 3 minutes, and you see how nice it is. When you will press it, it will slowly come up, and this is when you know that the dough is ready. Now you just make out a log of it. Use your both the hands. Make a log out of it. Yeah. Okay. And now we will divide this log into equal parts. So first we put a cut in the middle. Yeah. Then we cut in the middle again. And then again in the middle. So these will be mini paos. Now you have equal portions. Just make a judgment by taking them in the hand. I realize that this is a smaller one and this is a bigger one, so you can just adjust a little bit. And now the most important thing is to see the tuck-in method. So you press them, take out all the air. Okay, if the dough sticks, then you take little oil so that it does not stick. Okay, now you slowly tuck this in. Yeah, once you tucked in, I am showing once again. You do like this and tuck it in. Yeah, and then you, with the help of your fingers, just make a good shape out of it. Okay. Now this thing does not need any proofing. This is like kind of a instant bread. Okay, so it doesn't require any proofing. Just ensure that it is crack free. We don't want any cracks. If you notice any, then just keep on tucking. If you notice that okay, this is a crack, just tuck in. Okay, just try to tuck in and again. Yeah, just like the way we roll the laddus. Okay, now I have a very well greased tin here, a container, and we will place now. So this will expand, this will become big. Now I don't have a very small container, This is the smallest that I have. So we have always been cooking in bulk actually. So it is very difficult to have small containers. This is really difficult. And then you start placing them. So I'm starting by placing it in the one side, and you just leave some space, and like that slowly we do for all of them. Once you see it is smooth, crack free, just go ahead and place them here. Yeah, you see I am leaving some space between them, so there has to be some space left between them. So here goes the third one. Great. So I have rolled all the balls, and you see how I have placed them. I have kept little space and I have placed them. Now what you need to do is let it rest for 10 minutes. And when you let it rest, it may dry out. The top surface may dry out. So what you need to do is just take any damp cloth and just cover it. Meantime, what you need to do is keep your oven for preheating. If you don't have an oven, then the most easiest thing to do is take a cooker which has a which has a very good depth, and put around 1 kg of salt in that. Put a stand, or maybe okay, wait, a small a ring cutter like this, or a bowl like this. Okay, you can use something like this, and cover the lid and let it heat. Now this will become your home oven, like a tandoor, the way they make it. So I said a cooker with a good depth, put salt, put some ring cutter or a wire mesh on it, and once you do that, put on the lid without the whistle and heat the cooker. So this will become your oven, and this is called preheating of the oven. And then now we will wait for 10 to 15 minutes and we'll come back and see. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now 10 minutes are over, and this is how it looks. Don't expect that it will puff up or something like that. Just take some remaining oil and grease all the paos, the small balls, with oil. This will give a nice brown color. Now oven was preheated at 200 degrees for 10 minutes, and now this pav will go inside. I have a gas oven, so I preheated for 10 minutes, starting both the coils for 10 minutes, and then I switched off the upper coil. So baking generally in a gas oven happens only on the lower coil. Okay, so you can put this will take around 7 to 10 minutes to bake, depending on your oven. This can go in OTG. In OTG you have to start both the coils, and in microwave 200 degrees C only for 5 minutes, and mostly the pavs will be done. Please check. Hare Krishna. Just place this in the center, and now we wait for another 10 minutes. See you after 10 minutes. Okay, so this is currently out of the oven, and you see it has beautiful brown color. Now what you need to do is just take some room temperature butter and apply on the buns for the glaze. You would see that they are not fluffed so much as the yeast ones. These are instant ones, so they may not puff up so much, but we'll open and we'll see the air mesh inside. Okay, and once you do this, you need to again cover it with a damp cloth so that the softness remains, and this will help the buns to be really soft. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this was how you make mini buns without yeast. Hope this helps you in the lockdown. Hare Krishna.